Good morning, it's Jeff White here. I'm heading to our Bourke Street office this morning, so I'm leaving my Yarra's Edge office here and walking across to Bourke Street. So I thought I'd take you along for the journey and perhaps do what they call, I think, a vlog nowadays, and we can talk about anything as I walk and a bit about me, a bit about real estate, a bit about Yarra's Edge, a bit about Docklands, whatever comes up. And there's been a couple of questions that people asked me through some personal messages over the course of the last few weeks that people like to know, so I'm going to do that. Anyway, I'll take you along for the journey now and look forward to talking to you. So this is our Yarra's Edge office, and this is Bourke Street in Docklands, and we're off and running. Picture of the great Stephen Heaven on our screen. All right, so yes, we're walking. This is, I think I've shown you in another video that Tower 5 is 90 Bourke Street, and Tower 5 is has our office underneath it, just to the car park entrance. So that's where I'm leaving. And walking towards the marina at Yarra's Edge, and I'll take you along the boardwalk and just have a bit of a chat as we go. It's been an interesting period. We have had a change in the market, I would say, in the last few months. People have, I'd say, considered, their options a little bit more, plus the winter months and all of that goes on. And generally speaking, that as that happens, the market can vary a little bit. Supply and demand changes, and I think people are, contemplating their future a little bit more at the moment, given cost of living and what's going on in terms of the taxation arena, etc. So, anyway, here we are. We're down at the marina. I've shown you one of my previous videos. This marina, it's the Yarra's Edge Marina. These towers are all Mirvac developed towers, and this marina is all part of the Yarra's Edge Docklands experience. So this is the boardwalk and we're walking along here. I hope you don't mind the split screen. Some people have said, oh, you need a better gimbal or whatever it's called because it shakes a bit. Sorry about that. I haven't upgraded that. This is an old-fashioned selfie stick or something they call it. So anyway, this is the view across towards the city as we're walking along the marina here. Just wanted to talk to you a bit about real estate, what's going on. People are saying to us, what's happening in the market, and quite frankly, it depends whether you're buying or selling in the market, to be honest. The market's quite different for different people within the market. If you're buying, I think the opportunity is fantastic at the moment. We're not seeing any elevation really in prices. CoreLogic data that's come out indicates that Melbourne's pretty flat in most cases, and I have to say that's probably the case in Yarra's Edge Docklands, and I can't see that changing too much in the near future. So I think that presents some great opportunities for buyers. If you're selling, there's certainly not a huge volume of properties on the market. There's certainly buyers around, so if you are selling, it's a good time to be thinking about listing your property and getting it on the market and perhaps selling this spring coming into summer. So feel free to talk to us if you want to do that. Again, just a bit of a spin around into the marina here, down towards the Bolte Bridge down there, and towards the city over here. Some people have said to me, oh Jeff, real estate, why did you get into real estate? Well, I guess it was probably something that was in my blood. I don't know whether you know, but I'm a fifth generation estate agent. So in 1888, my great-grandfather started a business, William White, and it became William White and Sons, and effectively that was the beginning of the real estate in the White family blood. And my time came into real estate. I started in 1984. That's a long time ago. Actually, I think it was November 84. So November this year it will be 40 years. So don't know where that time's gone, but anyway, 40 years in real estate. I was just leaving school, and my father, and I was living at home at the time, of course, and my father came home and said that the person that was handling the rental applications in our office at the time, the William White and Sons business, she'd just left, and would that be a job that I'd be interested in? And obviously when you're 18 or thereabouts, getting a job's important, and to put petrol in the car and go out with my mates and have the money to do so. So yes, I took up the offer, and I guess that was the beginning of it. And I enjoyed real estate right from day one. And what happened in those days was that real estate was a career that you entered perhaps for the rest of your life. It wasn't something that you dabbled in and thought, oh well, I'll just give it a go and see what happens, and I'll leave in 4 or 5 years or 10 years. It was a career at the time, and it certainly was for all of the members of our family that went into real estate. So you tended to start from what I'd consider the bottom up. You'd be almost a receptionist, property manager, and you'd work your way up through the ranks. And in those days, property management was the entry to real estate. It's quite different now. It's very much a specialty part of real estate, but you would enter real estate via property management, and then ultimately, if you had the ambition and the skills, you'd consider going into sales and then having your own business. But yeah, so I was involved with that, and at one particular point in time, like everyone in our family, we were dealing with property management, both residential and commercial, and then we went on to do sales as well as the property management. There wasn't really a definitive line between the jobs in those days. Quite different again in these days. We've stopped here just to show you the towers at Yarra's Edge. This is really nice. This is a photo that I enjoy taking because this is the heart of Yarra's Edge, and in Docklands and the marina, and of course this funny looking bridge here, but it's very, very valuable, this bridge. It's called the Webb Bridge, and it takes you from the south side of Docklands to the north side of the river. So if it wasn't for this bridge, it'd be a lot more difficult to commute from one side of Docklands to the other. So that's where I'm heading, so I'll take you up on the bridge as I go. Yeah, so real estate was a career change for me, and working with the family at the time, and someone said to me, what's your most memorable occasion about real estate? And I can tell you now that working with when I started in real estate, my grandfather, my father, so my grandfather was Robert John White, and my father was Robert Frederick White, and of course my uncle William John White, and Bill, as we know him, has just recently retired from real estate and doing well and in his retirement. And so uncle, father and grandfather and myself. So there were 3 generations that were part of the family business at the time. And it was a terrific time, and working with them and learning about the business, and also understanding what makes a good estate agent, and was the foundation of my career going forward. And I think that's probably the proudest moment, and not many people can say that they've worked with 3 generations in the same business. So that was probably my proudest moment in real estate. Here we are on top of the bridge. That's the ANZ Bank headquarters, Yarra River, looking towards the Balti. looking back to the towers at Yarra's Edge. I've come up the Webb Bridge and I'll keep walking. Sorry if I'm a bit puffed. Yeah, so the other interesting topic I think for discussion could be, you know, who were some of the mentors that I had in real estate. To be honest, there's so many people that I looked up to when I started in real estate. Not only my family members, they were mentoring me as a younger person in the industry when I started at 18, but there are other people that I'd met along the way that I very, very much enjoyed their company and looked up to and learnt a lot from. And I guess I'd have to include Marshall White in that. Marshall is a cousin of our family, the late Marshall White, and he also helped me, certainly when I was probably in my late 20s or even in my 30s. Marshall was someone I used to talk to regularly about what was going on, not only in life but also in real estate. There were people, you know, that guided me, helped me with auctioneering, and were people I looked up to. And these names mightn't mean much to people, but they mean a lot to me. Rodney Allison, a terrific fellow, had a business, Ellison Herndon, that merged with Wilson Pride. And Rod Ellison was one of the auctioneers I used to go around on Saturdays and watch. And he was, by today's standards, would be regarded a bit of an old school auctioneer, but that's the way we were taught in those days, and Rod Ellison was one of those. There are many people, and I don't really want to start naming too many because I'll forget. But Chris Callaghan was also one that I'd met through the REIV and was well known to my family. And Chris was an absolute gentleman. If I went to an REIV meeting and Chris spoke, you were in awe of what Chris said, and he was an inspirational man. I also, you know, people like George Thompson, the Thompson family, Morley family, the White family, the Simpson family are all family businesses, and enormous respect for George Thompson as well. And I like the way that he operated, and again, a true gentleman and a man of with highest ethics that you could have. As an auctioneer also, a lot of respect for Peter Hawkins. Peter Hawkins, when he won the Australasian Auctioneers competition, I just thought, wow, what an auctioneer this guy is. And I got to work with Peter on the REIV board and still very friendly with him even these days. He's a man that it's true to my heart. He's a mad Carlton supporter and a great estate agent, a great fella, and Peter Hawkins from Pat Rice Hawkins, and what a bloke he is. I also have met so many directors of the REIV during my time, and many of those people are also very inspirational to me. And of course, in the late 1999, 2000, after my father passed away, the family business I sold to Wilson Pride at the time, and I had a lot of respect and still have for Tony Pride, Graham Wilson, Marcus Peters, three guys, very different fellows. Probably one of the best times in real estate was with Wilson Pride in those days, and of course Paul Herndon as well, who was a former partner of Rod Ellison's. So look, there's just a few people that were very inspirational to me and mentors over the years. We're behind the ANZ Bank here. I've walked around it, so it's on the other side, and we're walking along the street behind the ANZ Bank. This is really the start of Docklands Park, and it's a lovely park to come to, very well kept. Yes, anyway, we'll keep walking along. Why the REIV? Somebody says, oh, why do you get involved with the REIV and all of that? Well, I guess, again, it was in the blood a bit. My grandfather was very involved with the REIV. He didn't go onto the board, but was a member for many, many years, and also was secretary and president of the southern branch of the REIV. That was passed down, that interest was passed down to my father as he was growing up and got involved with the REIV. And my father was a president of the Institute, and I guess that sort of rubbed off on me as well. Our family, Bill was also involved in the early days with the REIV, and when I came into real estate, it was a natural progression to join the REIV and get involved. And it's one of the things, to be honest, that I guess I miss a bit, and that's the fellowship that used to be with the Institute at the time. We used to meet monthly, and I learned a lot from other people, even our competitors in the field, whether it was Glenn Morley or Matthew Morley or Alistair Chisholm, Brett Gaiman, these sorts of people. They were competitors in the field, but we had enormous respect for each other, and even used to share and help each other from time to time as well. And I still have that philosophy. So, you know, if anybody, and even if they're competitors of mine nowadays, you know, want to pick my brains, they're always available, and that's the way I am. This industry has been very good to my family, the real estate industry, and I wanted to make sure that you know, it continued to provide for people that work in the industry, and also for the generations that are to come. So the Institute is close to my heart. I've served as a director of the REIV for in 2 stints, but over 10 years, and been president of the REIV on 2 occasions, and on many, many committees and councils over the years. In fact, I've got an REIV meeting tonight. So I continue to do that because I want a better industry for all of us practitioners, and also to assist in the shaping and forming of policy and get our legislation with government. I think that is so important. We win some with government, we lose some, but we've got to be in the fight sometimes, because government has sometimes very different views on what they think estate agents should or shouldn't be doing. And we need to represent the industry. So that's why I've done it and continue to do it, and probably be involved until I stop working in real estate, to be honest. We're walking along here, heading down past the ANZ Bank. I'll continue down alongside the park here. It'll probably be a bit noisy. There's some construction works happening here. But nevertheless, we'll keep punching on, and I hope you can hear me. The outside real estate, what do I do? People say, you know, you work a lot, and what's your interest? Well, I guess I am a pretty private sort of person in many ways, and that's not such a bad thing sometimes. I guess I probably, I used to enjoy sports as a younger person, and unfortunately real estate did sort of get in the way of that, because when I started in real estate, I was working a minimum 6 days a week, and in some cases 7 days a week, and that's what it was. And so going to play football on a Saturday afternoon, or tennis with the Corvagramarians old boys, was a bit hard to do when I was doing real estate at the time. So, but I had a passion for sport, and I don't necessarily play too much now, unfortunately. I should have kept it up. But certainly watching sport is something I do like, and I have a real passion, and I've developed it over the last, well, 30 years, I guess, maybe more so in the last 20 years or so, is Formula One motor racing. I think I've missed one Formula One event in Melbourne, but I've been to all the others, and that's a real passion of mine. Football, of course, I think we all do have some sort of following for football, even if you're into it or not. The Carlton Football Club is who I support, and it goes back 5 generations as well, right back to when William White migrated to Australia, and he used to go to Princes Park and watch Carlton play, and that's been passed down to all of the White family members, and we've got some new ones coming through the family, some of my cousins' children, and I think they're even going to support Carlton, which is terrific. So yes, Carlton Football Club, Formula One. I do enjoy motorsport generally, and it's something that I do follow. We're walking alongside the Docklands Park here. This is all very green, and it's very lovely. They're doing some lawn mowing over there, and this is a great peaceful part of Docklands, and some of these apartments up here overlook the park, so they are facing east and looking towards the city with the park just in front of them. So this is probably getting towards the real middle part of Docklands, and it's very, very convenient here, because I crossed over, I omitted to say, those traffic lights back there, that was Collins Street, so you can catch the tram straight up to Southern Cross and into the city there. So if I want to catch the tram into the city, I just walk over the Webb Bridge and go to Collins Street, and I'm into the city. I'll take you back through here actually. It's a nice little picturesque walk through Encounter Way. More apartments here, and there's also another park down here. So sorry if the camera work's a bit all over the place, but I'll keep going with that. Talking about Docklands, and people said, why did you pick Yarra's Edge? 13 years ago, my wife and I decided to leave the suburbs. We lived out in Knox area in Rowville, and we wanted the city life, and we did a lot of homework in terms of apartments, looked all over, looked in South Bank, and considered St Kilda Road, those sorts of areas, and we settled at Yarra's Edge and in Docklands. And at the time, I bought the property through Baden Lucas at Lucas Real Estate, who I'd consider a friend of mine. He's a competitor of mine nowadays, but I consider him to be a good friend as well. And we bought that property because Yarra's Edge, if you've got north-facing apartments, so they're sunny, they get plenty of sun and warmth, and they overlook the Yarra River, the marina, you can see the city, and south of the Yarra, when you want to walk to South Bank, you literally just walk alongside the Yarra, and it'll take you all the way down to South Bank, Crown Casino, wherever you want to go down there. So the convenience factor for us was really good, and also it was close to the freeway system if we wanted to go southeast out through the tunnel and down towards the southeast suburbs. So position-wise was great, sunlight, north-facing, city views, Mirvac built, very good, and these were all the reasons why we settled at Yarra's Edge, and why I have a very, very strong passion for that area of Docklands. However, having said that, we're virtually in the middle of Docklands here, and as you can see, there's probably more greenery on this part of Docklands than what there is at Yarra's Edge, to be honest, but there's a mixture of more commercial, there's some retail as well, and just up through there where I'm looking straight ahead now, that'll take you to Woolworths and other cafes, restaurants, and all of those sorts of things there. But this is an area that we come over to quite regularly, and have a coffee at the coffee shop up here, which I'll walk you past, and we enjoy it. So yeah, Yarra's Edge is the place that I like, and it all comes down to people's budgets and where they want to be. Some people want to be, in an apartment that overlooks this park. Nothing wrong with that at all, and it's just a personal preference. But I did enjoy one of the things was I did enjoy looking at apartments and settling on the one we've chosen at Yarra's Edge, because I live and work at Yarra's Edge, and it was good looking around and seeing the different buildings, getting an appreciation for it. And funny enough, at the time I was working with Elders. I just got a job with Elders Real Estate, and working out of their head office in Queen Street, Melbourne. And you know, so it was a very different world for me. I hadn't really had much to do with those high-rise type apartments, more the low-rise apartments that you might find in Elwood or St Kilda, where I worked for many years. This is a lovely cut-through area. Great cafe here, Bambino's. Great coffee as well. Might come back and get one a bit later. And yeah, so we're walking towards Bourke Street now, and this is Bourke Street Docklands. Basically runs right up to Marvel Stadium, and it's a fantastic area as well. Very, very commercially orientated. Banks, cafes, other shops, government offices, as you can see over the road there, where there's people waiting. And yeah, we'll just walk along Bourke Street here. Some people have asked me, you know, about buying apartments versus townhouses versus houses. Well, I can say that I was a bit sceptical about buying an apartment. I was a bit apprehensive, I should say. And anyway, sorry about the noise in the background. I was a bit apprehensive about buying an apartment at the time in 2012, and I found that living in an apartment is obviously not for everybody, but I'd have to say that I wouldn't look back now. And the convenience, the real community atmosphere that you have when you live in an apartment is something that you often don't see when you have a house. Some people don't even know their neighbours when they live in houses. Well, we get to know our neighbours a lot easier when we're in an apartment, and that's you know, a real joy for us. Townhouses, depends on the size of your family, you know, nothing wrong with that as well. It's really personal preference, but I'd have to say from our experience that we've been very happy with an apartment, and we probably won't be moving, I think. So if that's any sort of testimonial for an apartment, there you go. I'm just opposite our office in Bourke Street, and there we go, across the road. I'll walk over here and then we'll sign off soon. So this is a bit of a long-winded, it's a one-take vlog, and I don't, you know, I'd make no bones about it that there's probably things in this that I could have done better. Just waving to my colleagues in the office, but yeah, so this is our Barry Plant Docklands office here. We've recently refurbished it. There's the great Alice Geddes. She is our sales manager, runs our sales team, and a terrific operator and a lovely person as well. So this is looking around towards the precinct here, Bourke Street. Merchant Street up there, that's where Woolworths is, and walking down towards the ANZ Bank. So yeah, this is pretty much it. I've arrived at my other office here, meeting with Daniel Cole, the Alice, the sales team, and I'll perhaps update you with something more soon. So nearly 30 minutes I've been talking for, and that's gone very quickly. Feel free to comment or send me a message if there's anything you'd like me to cover, and I hope this has been informative and you've enjoyed it. Thanks so much and have a great day. All the very best.